I have been asked to talk about this perfume a lot on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and so I finally got it, and we are going to be talking about excuse me, why do I keep calling this Lionheart by Armaf. So as you probably already know, this is inspired by Burberry Goddess. Now I made a video, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month ago now, talking about how I don't really think that we have an actual one-to-one dupe on the market for the original Burberry Goddess, and that all of the dupes that I have smelled for Burberry Goddess, while they smell great, they are all a much sweeter version of the original Burberry Goddess. Now, a lot of people actually like that more. They like the additional richness, the additional sweetness that those fragrances provide. Me personally, while I like all of those fragrances, I do wish that we actually had a one-to-one of Burberry Goddess. So let's talk about whether or not Lionheart is able to accomplish that. So out of all of the dupes that I have, I will say that I think Lionheart is the best. What else do I have? I have Angham by Lattafa. I have Athena by Maison Alhambra. I have Entice Me by Oud Wear. And of course, I have the original Burberry Goddess. I will say that I do think that Lionheart is the best, or my favorite, out of all of those, what, 4? Yeah, this is 4. Out of the total 4, I would say Lionheart is my favorite. I think that the opening of the fragrance does lean into a bit more richness than Angham or Athena, and it has a bit more spice to it than all of those fragrances as well. And when I talked about my last video, I believe I said that before Lionheart, Athena was the one that was the closest because it had the most amount of like extra spice to be the closest to Burberry Goddess. I think that this one has even more spice than Athena. But when I'm saying these fragrances have more spice than the other, it's not like one has a teaspoon and the other one has a whole cup. It's slight. It's very slight. It's like we're talking about 10%, 15%, if I have to give it a number, a very small amount of difference, to where if you have any of these in your collection, I think it honestly would be redundant to get another one, unless you feel like you get no performance from one of them and you want to see if you get better longevity or projection from another one. But if not, I think the outcome is going to be pretty darn similar. And the added richness that I smell in Lionheart is really, really pronounced in the opening. You still kind of smell it throughout, but it of course softens. In terms of the projection and longevity, on me, I feel that Angham was the longest lasting out of the lineup that I just showed you. And I think that it's on par with Angham, maybe a little bit, a tiny bit louder than Angham, but such a slight amount that it's not, again, probably not even worth mentioning because the difference is negligible, to be honest with you. Now, all of these, in my opinion, every single one of these dupes on my skin last longer than Burberry Goddess. So if you want a sweeter take on the DNA and you really want it to project, and you want it to last on you, you will do fine with any of them, whether it's Angham or Lionheart or Athena or Entice Me. I really, really think that they are all very, very similar to each other. And to me, they all kind of feel like they are more so duping whatever was the first dupe of Burberry Goddess rather than duping the original Burberry Goddess. None of them are trying to really lean into that just spicy, lavender with the ginger type of scent profile with not a lot of extra sugar. They are all taking the extra sugar route. So you're either gonna love or hate that. But unfortunately, I cannot come here and tell you that Lionheart is absolutely a one-to-one Burberry Goddess. No. Lionheart is not a one-to-one Burberry Goddess. It is a one-to-one of all of the other clones on the market with just a little bit of extra spice, okay? So it's nice. It's nice, don't get me wrong. If I had to just buy one clone and I had none of them and I had to repurchase it, I would repurchase Lionheart. But again, I wanna reiterate so that you don't waste your money, that if you have any of the other ones in your collection, I really think that it would be redundant to have to get another one because I personally don't think that the difference is, big enough. You comparing them on your hand and really looking for a difference and trying to find the finite, nuances, you will be able to pick those up, sure, if you smell and train your nose hard enough. But I'm talking about actually wearing these fragrances, actually spraying these fragrances on your body and going out into the world. If you wear Angham one day, you wear Lionheart the next day, I really do not see people being able to tell the difference. I could see people being able to tell the difference between you wearing Angham and Lionheart or Burberry Goddess because of how extra sweet and rich those fragrances are in comparison to Burberry Goddess. But if you have one of these dupes, you have them all. I'm so sorry. But I have a question for you guys because honestly, I am getting so tired of smelling the exact same DNA over and over and over again. And I'm not the first influencer to talk about this. Daniel Renee has talked about this ad nauseum, okay? I'm curious though, you as the consumer, people who watch these type of videos, how do you feel about this? Are you thinking, you know, I want every single brand to come out with their take on that DNA so I can figure out which 10 different La Bomba or Burberry Goddess dupes I like the best? And if one of them is, you know, 2% stronger than the other, then that's worth it for me? Or are you like, I want one or two? Or maybe you're like me and you're saying, I want multiple different twists or variations on that type of DNA, but the twist has to be like substantially different to justify it, or I don't really need it. I'm curious because I really feel like if brands understood what you, the consumer, wanted, they would, I would hope, God willing, listen to that and stop pumping out the exact same DNA. Because my thinking is that I don't think people want that, but I could be wrong. And I do get a lot of people requesting, compare this dupe with this dupe, compare this dupe with this dupe. So maybe you do want all of them. I don't know, but let me know please in the comment section down below because I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then hey, if you guys want me to review 5,000 different dupes of the exact same perfume, I will do that for you. Even if I think it's redundant, I will do that for you if that's what, you know, the people want. But I'm very, very curious. And I'm very, very curious which brands will start to listen to whatever it is that the masses are actually asking for. And who knows, maybe we'll be lucky and start getting more discontinued or different DNAs. So yeah, that is it. I don't really have much to say about it because it's just another dupe of the same DNA that you're already familiar with. So let me know which of these you've tried, which is your favorite, you know, interpretation of the Burberry Goddess DNA. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.